Hi, hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm Albie and this is episode 2 of Advice with Albie. So today we're talking about 5 things that I wish I knew sooner in life, 5 things I wish I knew in my 20s. I'm 32. And we're just gonna jump right into it. This is the whole vibe that I want for my channel. I want to put information out into the world that I wish I knew, because I didn't have a big sister. I didn't have an older cousin. I didn't have like a cool auntie, no mentor of any kind. I just literally figured everything out for myself. And now I'm gonna put it back into the universe and hope that it helps somebody not have to learn everything the hard way, the way that I have. So let's get into it. So the first thing I wish I knew when I was in my 20s was that your looks are gonna change continuously over time, so stop stressing about them. Stop it. Oh my God, stop caring. Stop letting it hold you back from doing something you want to do. Stop letting it dictate the way you behave in a space of people, because they're gonna change day to day, week to week, year to year. Your hormones change every, what, 5 to 7 years? Literally, your hair could go from straight to curly. Like, I'm not kidding you. It's gonna change. Your weight's gonna fluctuate, your build is gonna change, where the weight sits on your body is gonna change. So just don't let it become the only thing you are is something to look at, because you're so much more than that, and you're gonna regret missing all of those opportunities because you were worried about the way that you look. And it's not all just about your body. I'm talking about hair and makeup and acne and your teeth and all of it. Okay, it's okay to care and to want to present yourself well to the, greater society around you, but it's not okay to let it become the only thing you care about and to let it dictate the way you live your life, because again, you're so much more than just something to look at. All right, second thing I wish I knew sooner is your job is a means to an end. It is not who you are. Let me say it louder. Your job is a means to an end. Your job is where you go, you perform a service or create a good, and you get paid for it, and that's it. And then you go home and you are who you are. Your job is not who you are as a person, and you need to act accordingly. I'm saying this as someone who let the stress of work put me in the hospital, not once, but twice. It's real. Stress-related illness is real, and it compounds over time. So you're not feeling it right now the way you're gonna feel it in your 30s. You're not feeling it right now. I'm not feeling it right now the way I'm gonna feel it in my 40s if I, hadn't made the changes that I made to understand that it's a part of you, but it's not who you are. And it's a part of you that could change like this, and it can evolve, and it should evolve. It's dynamic. So don't give your whole self to a job, especially not when you're young. You should always strive to do well. You should always strive to be the best you can be, as cheesy as that sounds, but it's true. You should always strive to do well when you're in a position and you're being paid for it, but that does not mean that you have to give over your whole being to the job, okay? It's a part of you, it's not all of you. Act accordingly. If you have the opportunity, you need to move. Okay, if you have the opportunity, even if it's just for 6 months, even if it's just, 1-year assignment, when you're young, you can afford it, you can do it, you will make up the money you spend to move. I promise you, you have time. Take the chance. Move when you can. Now, I'm not saying this as somebody who didn't move. In fact, I moved every year, and I only about 1.5 years ago moved cross country by myself to a place completely unseen, like state I've never been to, city I've never been to, didn't know anybody, and I recommend it because too many of my friends now are in their mid-30s and they've never left their hometown, or they've barely left their hometown and they regret it. So if you have the opportunity before you are bogged down with kids and pets and partners, just pick it up and move. Go where the job leads you. Go where the fun seems to be, because you have that opportunity and it could be where you're meant to be. And if you're questioning if you're meant to stay where you're at, the answer is probably no. So take the opportunity when it comes to you and move. Go try something new. Kind of along the lines of moving, I want to talk about apartments or homes, but most likely apartments when you're in your 20s. Guys, they don't need to be aesthetic. I know that's become like such a thing in the last 10 years or so. Guys, it doesn't need to be aesthetic. Take it from somebody who acquired a little bit of debt trying to like furnish a home way faster than I needed to. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Your home is your home because you're there and it's where you live. Your home is not your home because it matches the aesthetic that you want. Don't, get suckered into trends. Don't get suckered into like constantly buying new stuff. I know it's fun to watch those hauls and to get ideas and to fantasize about, well, someday I'll have this house and I'll decorate it exactly how I want. Great. Save up for that someday house, but don't bother with apartments. Buy things that are functional, buy things secondhand, get things from your cousin because they're moving out and they need to get rid of the sofa. As long as you're clean and your home makes you feel safe, that's all you really need. You do not need it to be aesthetic for any reason at all, ever. Okay, and now for my most controversial one. I'm gonna say this as somebody who has never been married, which is probably gonna stir the pot. Don't get married before 26. Here's my reasoning. I can always tell if someone's younger than the age of 25. Around 25 is when your frontal lobe, the part of your brain up here that's responsible for helping you make major decisions, that develops around the age of 25. And once you surpass 25, you hit 26, you're gonna look down at the people, I don't mean like in a rude way, I mean like just, you're gonna look at people who are younger than you and you're gonna be like, oh my God, it becomes so obvious. So many things fall into place. And so making a major decision like marriage, or even worse, having kids before your frontal lobe is even developed, I just think it's crazy. And I understand that there are reasons why people do it, and maybe it is the right decision, and not every single time that somebody gets married below the age of 25 or 26, like it doesn't always end up horribly, but statistics don't lie, and statistically it most likely will. So just, if they're the one, they're gonna be the one 5 years from now. They're not only the one unless you marry them right then at 19. Wait, because you both have growing up to do, literally and figuratively. You both have growing up to do. And again, if they're the one, they're gonna be the one in 10 years time. There's no rush to the altar. There's really not. And I think especially women, we feel a lot of pressure, especially when we're young, that we have to do this, to stick to the clock, to do this, to do that. I'm here to tell you, your life will not end because you're not married. I can't tell you how many of my married friends have regrets. So just at least give yourself the best fighting chance. Wait to find a forever marriage partner till your frontal lobe is developed, which is again 25, 26. Yeah. I think and I know people are gonna, well, you're not married, so how could you know? Because I watched the chaos around me and I successfully avoided it. And I have a lot of people who tell me like, you're so smart to wait. You're so smart. Just wait. Just wait, I promise you. Okay, second to last here. Don't get a dog unless you've got extra cash consistently. Dogs are expensive. Cats, a little bit different, but dogs, they keep you from being able to move around. It is so expensive to board them. And quite frankly, I get so annoyed when people get these dogs and then don't have the time or the willingness to spend copious amounts of time and money on them. If you do not have extra cash floating around month to month, you cannot afford a pet. You definitely cannot afford a dog, okay? My $600 shelter dog, because I lived in Northern Virginia, $600 shelter dog cost me $6,000 within the first 6 months, and I'm not making that up. I wish I was, okay? Between 2 emergency vet visits and 1 destroyed computer, he was an expensive little thing, and I had money, and I still was like, what have I done? And I love him, and I'll never give him up, not for a single thing. Ever, you could offer me $6 million, and I still wouldn't give up my little dog. But I'm really glad that I waited. I got him, I think, a month before I turned 30. Okay, so like long time thinking about it, but just, you cannot imagine how expensive they become. And quite frankly, if you don't have a lifestyle that allows you, like when I go to work, he goes to daycare because it would be cruel for him to sit in a cage or sit in the house for 10 hours alone. And if you can't afford something like daycare, in my opinion, you can't really afford a dog. If you can't afford a yard, I can't right now. So I have to pay for him to go somewhere to get his yayas out. Otherwise, it's cruel, it's inhumane, and it's not fair. So unless you got money hanging around, I promise you, you can just go see the puppies on the weekends, go to the pet shops and help them socialize, but you don't actually need to own one yourself, okay? Okay, last tip for today is you don't need a partner to be complete, but it's okay to admit that you want one. And I don't know if this was like a trend and maybe it's changed because I'm so far removed from the dating scene right now. But when I was younger, I dated a lot of people who didn't want to be in relationships. I dated very casually. And while I knew deep down, like, I don't need a relationship, I was lying to myself and to the people I was dating by saying that I didn't want one. You know? I was discrediting myself and my own wants and desires and continuously wasting my time with people who just wanted casual. And it's really common, I think, when you're young to run into people who just want casual. But at the end of the day, if that's not what you want, then those aren't the people for you. And it's a very people-pleasing behavior. And I've had to really work hard to grow out of that because if they don't want the same thing you want, they don't want a relationship and they tell you that up front, end it. Because there are billions of people on this planet. You will find someone who is right for you. You will find someone who will make you happy and who will be in a relationship with you at the level that you want. And so be honest with yourself and then be honest with the people that you meet. Like, okay, cool that you don't want to date and you just want to be casual and free and fun. Totally fine. I want a real relationship. I want a real partner. You know, I want to give this thing a shot. And if that's not what you want, then cool. Glad to have met you. Next. Like, it's that simple. And I think you save yourself a lot of heartache if you can recognize that up front and just move on from it before you get too attached to somebody who from the start has told you that they don't want the same thing. So that's gonna be where I end this video. I kind of feel like maybe I'll make another one in the future because this was kind of fun, but also kind of agitating because I think back on all the things I did that I'm like, God, why did I do that? But I hope it was helpful for somebody out there. And yeah, good luck. I'll see you in the next one.